Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
Are they a threat to democracy? Yes. Are they going to take our rights away? Yes. Are they going to put people's lives in danger? Yes. Are they going to endanger the planet by not dealing with climate change? Yes.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
She's a genuine danger to American security.
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
We have to preserve our democracy, or speak out against lies and hate.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for...
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. We got some breaking news as of today. The House passes a bill to mandate equal United States Secret Service protection for all major president candidates. This is huge, considering the fact that Donald Trump has had not one, but two assassination attempts on his life. And not to mention, the two attempts have been within 60 days of one another. This is bananas. Finally, something actually happens. Shout out to everybody watching. Drop your comments down below. Smash the like button. Let me know where you're watching this out of. And let's get into this breaking video.
And breaking news now, I believe we have a look at the House floor, and we do. This has just happened. The House was voting on a bipartisan Enhanced Presidential Security Act, a bill to mandate equal USS Secret Service protection of major presidential candidates. It has passed the House 405-0, 26 people absent. And if my team can give me any more detail, please do. Okay, so 26 absent, 405-0 for those who are present today. And now it goes to the Senate. So this is the first step. And
geez, the first step. I don't know how many more steps they need to do. And I don't know how much longer President Donald Trump can wait. Former President Donald Trump, future President Donald Trump can wait. Here's what Fox News in the morning had to say about this entire situation. And then we're going to jump into the press conference with Fugazi acting director, Mr. Rowe.
Senator Blumenthal said what he has learned about the happenings in Butler, Pennsylvania will leave you shocked and appalled. Those are the words of a Democratic senator. I believe that's the case. Look, we're going to hear about accountability today. That's laughable because Ronald Rowe was the deputy for Kim Cheadle, who was the head of the Secret Service during Butler, Pennsylvania. Kim Cheadle wasn't fired. Kim Cheadle got to resign and go off to wherever she's going to go, probably a great private sector job. The facts are this. Why did Donald Trump not have presidential level protection to begin with after one assassination attempt?
Correct.
I don't believe he did, because if he did, he would have had an emergency response team of dogs searching the bushes for people. There would have been a counter surveillance unit looking at the side streets, making sure that no one came in. And I am sick of hearing this word from Ronald Rowe. We keep hearing about a, quote, paradigm shift. During Monday's news conference, coming out of Butler, I have ordered a paradigm shift. Well, your paradigm shift allowed a guy to get 500 feet from the sitting president, or former president, I should say, with a rifle, with snacks from 1:59 a.m. to 1:31 p.m. Oh, wow. And today he's expected to use those same words. He's directing a paradigm shift. Well, here's the question. Does Donald J. Trump have time to wait for your paradigm shift? Yeah. The answer appears to be no.
Yeah. Absolutely. He does not. He does not. Let me know what you guys think about this. And here is Richard Blumenthal stating, I think that the American people are going to be shocked and astonished and appalled by what we will report to them by the failures of the Secret Service in the assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump.
I think the American people are going to be shocked, astonished, and appalled by what we will report to them about the failures of the Secret Service in this assassination attempt of the former president. But I think they also ought to be appalled and astonished by the failure of the Department of Homeland Security to be more forthcoming, to be as candid and frank as it should be to them in terms of providing information. And we are going to absolutely insist on the truth and the whole truth in documents and testimony as members of the United States Senate, but also as citizens.
What did you learn new today when you said they're going to be appalled?
I'm not going to go into what we have learned in specifics. I'm giving you my reaction. And we will have a report very, very soon that I think will absolutely shock the American people, or it should, about the lapses and lags in the protection that was afforded that day and the breakdown in communication, failure, and responsibility.
Is that report coming today or tomorrow?
I'm sorry?
Is that report coming out tonight or tomorrow?
No.
Well, guys, guess what I got? I got a little something for you. Let me share this here. So this is the complete Whistleblower Report. Failures of the United States Secret Service in connection with the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. This is a complete breakdown. This is a full 22-page document. I'm not going to berate you with reading this in its entirety. If you want to check it out, I'll place a link for it in the description below, and you can download it. It'll be a PDF. You can review it. But I'm just going to read this executive summary really quick up until here. Let me see if I can. Here we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay. So on July 13th, 2024, former President Donald Trump was nearly killed by an assassin's bullet while hosting a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, and the United States Secret Service failed to prevent it. It was the most stunning breakdown in presidential security since the assassination of President John F. Kennedy and the attempted assassination of President Ronald Reagan. That right there is a huge statement off the jump to say that. The following catastrophic failures of the Secret Service and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, and the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, have all tried to evade real accountability. These agencies and their leaders have slow-walked congressional investigations, misled the American people, and sharked responsibilities. In response, Senator Hockley personally visited Butler, Pennsylvania rally site to interview whistleblowers, opened up a whistleblower tip line, and encouraged those with relevant information to tell their stories. Since then, many individuals have come forward with the information regarding the events of J13, and Secret Service, DHS, and local law enforcement, as well as private citizens. As a result of our findings, highly damaging to the credibility of the Secret Service and the Department of Homeland Security, they reveal compounding patterns of negligence, sloppiness, and gross incompetence that goes back years, all of which cumulative in the assassination attempt that come inches from succeeding. And here are a few bullet points from them. One of them being Secret Service counter surveillance didn't perform a threat assessment, so they didn't do that. Secret Service personnel declined multiple offers from law enforcement and law enforcement partners to deploy drone technology. Secret Service officers and protective operations manpower told agents in charge of the security of Butler rally not to request additional security and resources because they would be denied. On J13, law enforcement personnel abandoned rooftops of the American Glass Research Building 6, the roof in which said person, I'm not going to say his name because I'm not going to give him that much credit, attempted the assassination on former president because of hot weather. They said they couldn't go on the roof because of hot weather. What the freak? Secret Service's lead site agent on J13, the agent with specific responsibility for the security of the rally site included line of sight concerns, was known to be incompetent. The incompetence led to the placement of items like flags around the Butler stage and the catwalk, impairing visibility. The final item, supplementary Department of Homeland Security personnel were used to fill in shortages of the Secret Service personnel on J13. Some DHS members were pulled off child exploitation cases for the purpose of the training they received, which was merely a poor quality 2-hour webinar. Guys, this is bananas. I had recapped this, and I'm giving you 10 bullet points right now on this entire document. Counter Surveillance Division was absent, so Secret Service did not perform its typical site assessment on the Butler rally. Law enforcement abandoned key positions. Drone coverage was rejected, but the would-be assassin had a freaking drone. The incompetence of lead site management, the lack of additional security resources, inadequate training for the Department of Homeland Security, failure to secure Trump's treatment site, loose security protocols, missed opportunities to arrest the shooter once they saw him. They saw him with a rangefinder, and he didn't get arrested. And then whistleblower retaliation. Secret Service personnel who raised concerns about the Secret Service practices at Trump's event were reportedly retaliated against, further weakening operational integrity. This is bananas. Absolutely bananas. What do you guys think about this? Drop it in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. We're going to jump into the press conference from Fugazi director Ronald Rowe right now.
There he is, Ronald Rowe, stepping to the podium. This is the briefing, an update on the first assassination attempt.
Man, this boils my
Donald
blood.
Trump's life, the one that took place at his rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, just over 2 months ago. Let's go ahead and listen in here to the acting Secret Service director.
After reviewing the planning, event details, and coordination with partner agencies regarding the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump on July 13th, our mission assurance review is nearing its completion. As I've said, this was a failure on the part of the United States Secret Service. It's important that we hold ourselves accountable for the failures of July 13th, and that we use the lessons learned to make sure that we do not have another failure like this again. The findings of the mission assurance review have prompted the Secret Service to move into the accountability phase of this process. The Office of Professional Responsibility and the Office of Integrity are reviewing the findings. And as a result of these failures, what has become clear to me is we need a shift in paradigm in how we conduct our protective operations. As was demonstrated on Sunday in West Palm Beach, the threat level is evolving and requires this paradigm shift. But here are some of the findings from this mission assurance review. With respect to command and control of the site in Butler, Pennsylvania, the Secret Service has the main responsibility of building the site plan. We cannot abdicate or defer our responsibilities to others. Advanced team personnel have an obligation to ensure that each site meets the protective requirements and principles of Secret Service methodologies. The Secret Service did not give clear guidance or direction to our local law enforcement partners. There were communication deficiencies between law enforcement personnel at the site. For example, the Secret Service did not co-locate its security room with local law enforcement. There was an over-reliance on mobile devices, resulting in information being siloed. For example, at approximately 18:10 local time, Secret Service informed personnel that local police were addressing an issue at the 3 o'clock of the outer perimeter. At approximately 18:10 local time, via phone call, the Secret Service security room calls the counter sniper response agent reporting an individual on the roof of the AGR building. That vital piece of information was not relayed over the Secret Service radio network. At approximately 18:10 and 54 seconds, verified through body camera footage of local law enforcement, officers confront the assailant on the roof of the AGR building. At 18:11:05, via phone call, The site agent calls the assistant site agent to find out what exactly is going on at the 3 o'clock. And during that call, shots ring out. At 18:11:32, verified through body camera footage, the first series of shots are fired by the assailant. At 18:11:36, again verified through body camera footage, a second series of shots are fired by the assailant. At 18:11:47, through body camera footage, Secret Service counter snipers neutralized the threat. With respect to diligence, line of sight issues were acknowledged, but not properly mitigated. Issues were encountered the day of the visit with respect to line of sight concerns, but they were not escalated to supervisors. While some members of the advance team were very diligent, there was complacency on the part of others that led to a breach of security protocols.
Yeah.
With respect to accountability, the Mission Assurance Review has identified deficiencies in the advanced planning and its implementation by Secret Service personnel. These employees will be held accountable, and this agency has among the most robust table of penalties in the entirety of the federal government. And these penalties will be administered according to our disciplinary process. But due to federal regulations, I cannot get into personnel matters as they are proceeding. With respect to a paradigm shift, we're at a pivotal moment in the history of the Secret Service and at a pivotal moment in the history of our country. And I've directed that the Secret Service embark on a significant paradigm shift that will redefine how we conduct protective operations. What occurred on Sunday demonstrates that the threat environment in which the Secret Service operates is tremendous and under constant threat. And we've been in this heightened and increasingly dynamic threat environment since July 13th. This reality has necessitated that we significantly increase our protective footprint, and we've already begun to do so following the events of July 13th. This increased operational tempo requires additional resources to not only account for costs being incurred today, but ensure that we have the tools, the technology, and personnel needed to meet these new requirements and execute our mission going forward. The paradigm shift will be a driving force to move the Secret Service from a state of reaction to a state of readiness. And the vision is for the Secret Service to be more agile, with the ability to escalate protection to the highest levels for numerous protectees for undetermined periods of time. But in order to do this, we need additional personnel, technical assets, and equipment for the sustainment of immediate and future needs. Our personnel have been in a state of hypervigilance following July 13th. We are certainly working our people hard, and I've used this term publicly, redlining. This cannot be about working our people harder. So with respect to changes, the workforce, the American public, they can expect changes in our processes for advances. There will be an increased use of technology, not only to assist in communications, but also situational awareness when we're doing our protective mission. There will be organizational changes. For example, I've already directed the creation of an applied research and development section to field new technologies, leverage the research of other government agencies, and calibrate our technical security assets to stay ahead of threat vectors and technical collection impacting Secret Service equities. This will be an iterative process, meaning it will be constantly evaluated, validated, updated, and evolving. We cannot be stagnant. And we must be weaned off the reliance of partners within DHS to assist us during high operational times. The Secret Service should be self-reliant outside of national special security events. However, we recognize that we will always need assistance from our partners within the Department of Homeland Security and our partners at the Department of Defense. And I want to take this moment now also to thank our workforce. I want to conclude by thanking the men and women of the Secret Service who are working tirelessly. This summer, we experienced an unprecedented operational tempo for our agency. Within a 45-day period, the Secret Service successfully implemented our operational security planning at 3 national special security events: the NATO Summit, the Republican National Convention, and the Democratic National Convention. We successfully protected both the presidential debate in Philadelphia and multiple protective visits commemorating the anniversary of the September 11th attacks. All of this took place while protecting major party candidates on the campaign trail. This high operational tempo continues as the Secret Service prepares for the United Nations General Assembly next week, where we expect to protect more than 140 visiting world leaders and heads of state. I am proud of all that we've accomplished in a very difficult and tumultuous time for the agency. And I recognize and thank the men and women of the Secret Service and their families for continuing to make great sacrifices in support of our enduring mission.
I don't trust this guy. Same thing with the FBI. I don't trust him. What do you guys think? Drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think about this. But I'm glad that they're passing a bill, but it's too little, too late. Something needs to be done right now. Right now. I heard that veterans are stepping up and offering their services to help protect former President Donald Trump. Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop it in the comments down below. Smash the like button, share, subscribe, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one.